Bienvenidos and welcome back, familia, to another live session. I just want to welcome you all wherever you find yourselves. Welcome. We have friends all over the world now, and I know you're out there. So if you join us, please say hi in the live chat. If you're watching this after the live has already streamed, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification button so that you can be notified when we go live. In today's episode, I just want to talk to you all about my tools, the tools that I use on a daily, tools that I use for daily journaling, and tools that I use for my notebook making. So let's get started. Welcome everyone. If you are now just joining us, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe, and say hello in the comment section. I just want to see who's here and who's not. I appreciate you so much for joining us and for setting some time aside to have a little chat with me. Welcome. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started with the first tool that I use daily, which is this notebook. Every day I journal, whether it's just a tiny little bit or my whole day, but something always goes into the journal for what's it called, as a keepsake, whatever, for safekeeping. That's what it is. If you're stopping by, say hello in the live chat so I know you're here. First thing I want to talk about are the tools that I use to journal every single day. Now, I have a pouch that I carry on me. I'll show you. This pouch is always on me. My family's constantly asking me, what the heck is that about? And then I show them, hey, ideas don't ever go too far away from me. As soon as I get an idea, I have access to some kind of note-taking device, and they're like, why don't you just use your phone? Because I open my phone, and just like everybody else, I forget what I'm using my phone for, and then I'll be using, going on TikTok, and before you know it, the idea has left me. So in my pouch, I always have it with me. I never have to look for a pen. If I come and journal here in the studio, I still have the same tools here available, but I always keep those in my pouch. And that is starting with the first pen that I use is this Sakura. Tombow. Sorry, it's a Tombow Fudenosuke hard tip brush pen. This is my favorite, and I use this one for jotting down. Let me make sure I'm not going to turn to a page I don't want to show you. For jotting down the date. So when I'm jotting down, I put down the day of the week, the date, month, so month, date, and year. I'm starting not to put the year anymore because this is 2025 book anyway. I put the time I always put the time, and then where I find myself. So I might be at home, I might be away from home in Fullerton or Moreno Valley or different places, and so I'll write where I am. I got to be careful not to show something I don't want to show. Actually, from this point forward, I want to show it. I have everything hidden, but this is the pen that I carry with me and that I use to write the date. Now you'll notice that the date is highlighted, and for that I use different types of pens. I think the one that I use the most is this midliner pen. This one is a chisel tip, so I'll use the chisel tip to highlight the date. And for this month, because I have a system here, every month I change color of pen of this highlighter, because I want to be able to know where my new month begins. So all of these entries that are in this color are for the month of September, and then I have this one here for the month of October, and you can see it there. I hope I'm not glitching too much. And then you'll see that for the month of August, I had this yellow highlighter. So the highlighter changes each month, so I can find an entry. If I know that it was in August, I'll look through all the yellows. If I know that the entry was in September, all the blues, and now in October, it's this one. And this pen, I'm sorry, this marker, it's still a midliner, but it's not a chisel tip. This one is a brush pen, and I like brush pens because you can, in one stroke, you can draw a thick line, whereas a chisel, you can only go so thick, and then I have to do like one or two passes, or two or three passes sometimes, just to get that bigger writing if I need to highlight it at some point. And this one, I can highlight the whole thing in one stroke here. Let me show you. Let me grab a scrap piece of paper. And so I'll write, oh, did I put it away? Yeah, I put it away. Let's just say that it's September 30th, blah, blah, right? I'm gonna wait for that to dry a little bit, and then I'll show you. I'll continue real quickly, and I'll show you this, because I need it to dry, otherwise I'm gonna smear it. And then the second pen that I use is the Pigma Micron pen 02, and this is what I use for my note taking. Every time that I have a note, I'll use this pen, and I love this pen. The pen that I really truly love to use is the Papermate Inkjoy, but this one writes thicker, and I have to write bigger, and then I run the risk of smearing if it doesn't dry fast enough. But with this one, I don't have that issue, and it writes thick enough. I could go thicker, but this is perfect because sometimes I write small, like really small, and I could still read what I write with this, as opposed to the other pen where it's too thick. It just is. Well, I'll show you a side by side, because we're working on a community journal, and look how thick this is compared to that. Here, let me see if I can get it closer. See, so this is the the Papermate? Yeah, Papermate. That's this, and this is my 02 Pigma Micron pen. So that's the second pen that I use. The other pen that I carry with me is this red. It's like a dark red Micron pen, but this is the plastic nib. The plastic nib lets me write thin lines and thick lines. That's the benefit of the Pigma plastic nib. Sorry, I can go light, and then if I press down, I can get a really thick line. See, so for varying lines, this is perfect. And I use that if I'm going to have some kind of title that I want to stand out in my journaling. Right here, you see that? That's in red. I want that to stand out, so when I'm looking through and looking for a specific entry, I know, okay, mental, physical. This is my YouTube stuff. Just highlighting certain things, like Ezekiel is obsessed with Shrek movies, and he loves the music. So it's when I want to highlight something important, I use that red pen. The other pen that I use, that I have on me, is a same Micron 005, and I use that one. This is really thin, so this is a lot thinner than the 02, and that's for really small writing. So it's not too much of a difference, but you could see a difference here in the thickness of it. So I carry that. And then if I want to write something like a side note, let me find an entry so I can show you. For example, here, I had written a note, and then in a light gray, it's almost like a pencil. In this other pen that I have, also a Micron 01 in a silver color, I use that one to make extra side notes. So as you'll notice, I leave space on the side of my entries so that I can come in and write some extra notes. So here I wrote a note about this, and I dated the note. So this original one was on the 27th of August, and the note that I wrote was when I reviewed it again on the 24th of September. So almost a month later, I'm watching it, and I review it, and then I make a note. Let me see. Let me just double check something on my audio. What the heck? I didn't even put audio in. USB audio. Is that better? I think this is better audio. There's so much better audio. I don't know what I was thinking. I apologize for the terrible audio in the beginning. And this is why it's important. Let me see. Can you all hear me? Can you tell me you can hear me? Oh my goodness, my audio was terrible. I'm so sorry. All right, it's better now. I forgot to check my audio. I'm terrible at this. So that's what that is. And then finally, I think this is dry enough, but let me show you with let me show you actually the example with the other pen first, so you can see. With this pen, I can only write so thick. That's as thick as it'll. Well, that's as thick as it'll go. Tongue tied today. And with this one, I can lean it, on its side, and then cover all that space all at once. It's still smeared, but I could still cover with the brush pen. So if you're going to buy midliner pens, make sure it's a brush. And it also has this other side on the tip, another tip on the other side for, other type of highlighting. But I like these in the lighter color. So light blue, light gray, this little, I don't know, neon bright color. That's one of my favorite. Right. And so those are the tools that I use for my daily journaling. The other thing that I use, that sort of thin gray micron pen, is to make these. And so I use obviously this little small ruler that I got at the Hobby Lobby, and all I do is just place it up against this line and then draw a line all the way down, and then the same thing for this side. Maybe even this side. If not, I'll just go a little higher. Same for down here. And I'll just make a little box so that I can have all my entries fit inside this little section, leaving all this beautiful space on the side. So when I review, I can make notes. See, so I had an entry here, and then I came back and reviewed it and wrote it in a different color pen so that I could see the growth of this, right? Or the process of this. All right. And for journaling, that's it. That's pretty much it. That's what I use to journal every single day. So it's this one, my Leonardo da Vinci style notebook that I'm journaling. Sorry, this is not his notebook style. This is his journaling style. For comment, no, it's like a to-do list. And then in the back of my pouch, I have my pocket notebook that goes with me. And this is where I'm writing all my stuff for my self-confidence and self-motivation entries. It's a really great little notebook. So I carry these two with me, and this one stays home. Sometimes I carry it in my backpack in case I need to journal in here. But if this is not with me, I have extra pieces of paper that I stash in this notebook that I write and then come back and glue on that. So that's my tools and my system, I guess you could say. So I'll put these away. This, by the way, fits in my utility pocket of my carpenter pants. The carpenter pants on the side, they have a pocket, and this fits perfectly in that pocket. So that's for journaling. For journal making, I have another set of tools. And the tools that I guess I should start with the tools that I absolutely cannot be without. And that's going to be, let me see. the tools I need and use all the time are going to be this ruler, scissors, this glue, either that one or this one, a bone folder, a X-Acto knife, and what else? Yes, tape, and I think that's it. As far as like tools that I absolutely need to make, other than paper, obviously, are these tools, because I fold the paper, I cut paper, fold paper, measure, tape stuff together for pockets, and then glue things together. And then this is just, to make a good crease. But these are the tools that I think I would start with for sure for making the notebooks. The extra stuff that I have come to use that I really love, and I guess I could live without, but I'm glad that I use them because it just makes making these notebooks a lot easier, like a ridiculous amount easier. And that would be my scoring board. The scoring board, I have two scoring boards. I have one that is portable. This one I take with me everywhere. I like this one because it has the bone folder that you could attach onto it. The issue is, of course, you're limited in size, so you have 5.5 by 7, really. So you can only go so far. You have to get creative if you want to crease a much longer piece of paper. But I like this one. I got this one at the Hobby Lobby for $7.99. $7.99. And before you say that that's kind of pricey, it also came with this. This is a hole puncher. I'm sorry, not a hole puncher. This is a corner puncher and a notch puncher. And the reason why I love these is because you could take the corners and round them out. Let me show you on a piece of paper that you can actually see. So I could take corners and round them out just like that. Super easy. Super easy that way. And then if you flip it around and you place a piece of paper here, you see these little arrows here? That's just going to tell you where it's going to notch. And here's what it does. You click that and it makes that notch. And I use them to make an opening for pockets so that you could see and grab paper. But these are made, or that notch is meant to be used when you're making envelopes. You see in the back here, it shows you how to notch so that you can make envelopes and have the corners be rounded out already. By the way, this also has this triangle in the back, so you can make envelopes with a inch chart. So I've never made one this way. I'll look into it and see how it works, but that's how that is used. I carry this just in case I need to fold something while I'm out and about. But this one here, oh man, I just wasted that, but whatever. This one here is perfect for folding and creating creases to fold the paper easier. So you're essentially, oh, by the way, this one has a compartment down here to hide or to store this, I should say. And then here, you're just following the groove. You just press this along the groove, and 5 and 7.5, and then I'll go 10. And so now this makes it a lot easier to fold in that line. All you need to do is just follow that. Or if you need to cut something, you just make the crease and then follow that line. Let me open up my Liquid Death tea. I love drinking that. So there's that bone folder. And this one also comes with a triangle in the bottom that you can use to make envelopes. Oh man, is this thing glitching again? I think it's glitching again. Anyways, perfect. There's that. And then there's the bone folder. I didn't think I needed one of these, but then I started using it and I realized this is great. And as you can see, like this fold that I made with my finger, it's still rounded out here. So the paper will lift, but if you take the bone folder and press it, you can get that crease a little tighter, and you see it's not popping up anymore. See that? You can get a little bit of a tighter, just a little bit of a tighter crease. That's it. And then another tool that I use often for these are washi tape. So it's either that tape or Scotch tape. But the one that I use the most also, as you already know, is the hockey tape. And I've been using hockey tape for a really long time, but I love my hockey tape. It comes in handy to protect the back part of your notebooks. It's just great because it'll rub against your pants or your whatever bag you might have, and it won't scrape up your notebook, the paper itself, and then start tearing the paper. It's just one way of protecting it. You could buy this one on Amazon. I bought 2 packs for $9, I believe it was. $10. It was under 10 for sure. Let's see what else. I think that's pretty much covers it. I use that. Oh, actually, one more thing. Clips. These clips I got at Home Depot, they were, I want to say they were like 79 cents or something like that. 70 cents each. And I use this whenever I'm going to join 2 different pieces of paper together. I will, just clip them and hold them, align the paper, and then clip, and then, add the tape like that, and so on. These also just come in handy to hold different things, wires and pieces of paper. If you want to hold a piece of paper and write a script or something, and you want to see it, these come in handy. Or if a light source is too strong and you want to put a sheet over it or a plastic bag to diffuse the light, you can clip it with these. These are great little clips. Let's see what else. Let's talk paper. So this paper that I showed you just now is some of the paper that I use to make my notebooks with. And I buy these at Michael's. These are bought at Michael's, and they come in a pack like this with different colors. You see? I can find this color here. Boom, there it is. It's this color. And it has about, let me see. So it's a 65-pound paper. So it's fairly thick. And I like it because I could draw with almost any ink pen and it won't go through. It'll show if I use like a thick permanent marker. For example, if I take this one here and make a mark, you could see very little of it in the back, but you could still see it. Or if I take this marker here and go, let's see, whatever. I was going to do some calligraphy, but I changed my mind. You could see a little bit of it. Some Sharpie markers. Let's see this one here. And I'm pressing down. See, and you could see it barely, but it's still there. If you're just joining the live chat, go ahead and say hi. Don't be shy. Say hi in the live chat, so I know who's watching. And so I use this 65 pound. You can use, it comes in different colors, in different packages. In different seasons, they'll bring out different colors, like this brown and green are great, for making journals or covers to journals, but they're all 65 pound paper. For the white paper, I've been using this, which is cardstock paper, 67 pound, that I bought at Walmart. So Pen and Gear, I believe, is a Walmart brand, but it's 100 sheets and it was like $5. Whereas these are like, I want to say they're either $7.99 or $9.99, something to that effect. So I use these. I'm looking forward to using these. I like buying these, but it's rare when I could find one that's not so feminine, because I just don't see myself using them. Yeah, these are pretty awesome, actually. You see, they have moths, and I can't wait to start using these because Halloween is here, or Halloween month is here, and I can use some of these to make journals. Maybe when Luna comes over, I can have her design her own. And this is cardstock as well. This is let me see. It doesn't say, does it? That's interesting. It doesn't say, but it is cardstock, and I want to say that it's maybe about the same, 75, maybe 65 or 75 pounds, something like that. And then, of course, I use boxes, recycle boxes, things that I buy. These are Ezekiel's little snacks. So as soon as he's done with them, or I take them out of the package, I save these popcorn, cereal boxes, you name it. I try to save it if I think I can use it for a journal in the future. And I think that pretty much covers it as far as tools that I use. I have other tools. For example, I use these little cheap brushes for spreading glue until I can, learn to use brushes better for that. I think I'm going to stick with all the cheaper ones, so that in case I mess them up, it's not going to damage my wallet so much. But yeah, I have other little tiny tools that I use, but they're not just they're just extra. I have inks and pens and markers and highlighters, and I guess another tool I didn't talk about was pencil. But that's about it. That pretty much covers my tools. So if you have any questions about any of these tools, let me know in the live, or let me know in the either in the live chat now, or let me know in the comment section. And if you want me to go into detail as to how I use them specifically, I'd be more than happy to make a video with me talking about that, or using them live on a video. I think my favorite tool lately has been the bone folder. It just makes these creases a lot tighter, and there's something satisfying about that. And then just be on the lookout, because soon I'm going to post, I think tomorrow I'll be posting a video on how I made this. This is just another utility notebook, but I'm posting a shorter tutorial because the tutorial that we had was over an hour long, and I'm posting a shorter one just in case you want to make one of these. All right, familia. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you on the next live.